Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Junkyard Digs. Today we are standing by a random storage unit in the middle of the state of Kansas for a very good reason. It's this. Okay, good, it's the right one. This here is a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass S. 4-barrel, air-conditioned car, vinyl roof, everything. This car has been off the road since 1987 and it is a one-owner car. Until today. It's been sitting right here in this storage unit for nearly 20 years. We're gonna pull it out, wash it up, see if we can get it to run maybe, and then load it on the trailer and head home. Because chances are it's not gonna ever drive itself home the way it's sitting right now. So without further ado, let's get this nugget drug out and see if we've struck gold.
Oh heck.
Oh heck.
I am not Irish.
So like I said, this is a 72 Oldsmobile Cutlass S one-owner car with either 20 or 120,000 miles on it. I bought this absolutely sight unseen, sitting on my couch in Iowa, while this car's down here in a storage unit near Topeka, Kansas.
True story.
From the looks of the pictures I got, it's pretty solid. This is actually the first time I'm seeing it right now, and it is indeed pretty solid looking. Cutlass S. Yeah, there's a little hole here. Bottom of the door looks good. There's a vinyl top car, which scares me, but like the vinyl's good.
You know what I like about this car? So far there's no signs of it being flooded or on fire.
Don't say those words. Don't do that.
There's a bunch of wood behind you. How about you knock on it? Bonk.
Judging by like the age of this building, I wouldn't even think this building's been up for 20 years, but judging by the amount of dust sitting on top of the car, yeah, this thing has definitely been here for 20 years. She's pretty damn clean though. Well, okay, now that I said it, it needs a quarter panel. Oh, it's gold with white interior and then a black dash. That's odd.
Smells like mothballs.
Wow, this thing is really nice. Under the hood, we have a Oldsmobile V8. It has a Rochester Quadrijet 4-barrel. I actually have another one of these cars. I had a 70 Cutlass S with a 350 that came with a 2-barrel. So that's interesting that this one's a 4-barrel. I wonder if it's not a 350. I wonder if it, perchance, might be bigger. GM 301 350 4-barrel. So yeah, it's a 350 4-barrel, if that matches that. This is a beautiful car. I'm pretty excited about this thing. What concerns me is this thing. It's been sitting for 30 years. Is it going to spin over? Do we work on it first or drag it out and see if it's...
Work on it first.
Work on it first, see if she's stucco?
Yeah. I'll get the breaker bar!
So buying a car sight unseen, there was two things with this that scared me. One, it's been sitting forever. I don't know if the motor's locked before I purchased it. Two, it's a vinyl top, and I couldn't tell if there was actually a roof left or not. Vinyl top part looks like it's pretty okay because I don't see any rust in this valence, which means the roof probably survived as well if it's truly been dry for the last 30 years. But here's the big test. Uh-oh. Shit. Here's what we can do. We can take the fan off. That'll give us more room with this breaker bar. And then we can soak the cylinders in ATF and PV Blaster and all that good goo. See if she'll free up.
Boop! Is this thing on? Woo! Kevin, don't use this. Hello, it's time for booger scope.
Alright, well, to see if this is even worth our time, let's toss a bore scope down a cylinder here and see what we can see. Oh, those weren't tight at all. That's strange. It's going to be one of those mystery stuck engines where it's like stuck, but it's not stuck. It's not rusty, it looks fine. Apologies for the audio, we're literally right next to a highway apparently. And it's also a little windy out, so literally everything we don't want.
We're doing our best.
For those of you who asked what brand this is, it's a Tesla bore scope. I think you just get them on Amazon. I want to say they're about $100. Really nice self-powered unit that records video and pictures and all that. The cylinder walls look pristine. There's no crosshatch left, so I believe 120,000, but everything looks fine. Why does this not turn over? Let's check another cylinder. Let's head on inside and see what we can find. Look at all the crap down here. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, this one's pistons all the way at the top. Okay, well, I think I see a bit of brown there. Oh no, that's the wall right there, and it looks amazing. It's probably another case of stuff below the pistons is where it's rusty, but that thing looks really clean inside. This car has evidence of having been really dry the last however many years. Let's pull the radiator and stuff out of the way so we can get to that crank bolt, and then we'll pull the spark plugs and throw some goo down them. See if we can get this thing to spin over, because I was a little discouraged at first, but now that I've seen inside that motor more, I don't know why it's not spinning. And it could be something like a stuck starter again. Who knows? We'll look into everything. Mook is going to work on getting the 4 nuts off the front of the water pump pulley so we can get the fan off and get a little more room to get a breaker bar in there. My curiosity has gotten the best of me. First of all, what the hell is this? I don't know. I want to see what's in the trunk of this car. Ooh, a couple of black 72 Kansas license plates. Hell yeah, I wish they were Iowa plates. The carpet's still in the trunk. Some parts, some oil filters. Really good looking metal though from what I can see, so that's awesome. If you guys ever come across one of these cars, do it a favor and clean that out right there on the trunk, because that's what rots these when they're sitting out in the woods. Oh my god. Looks like she's actually got some patina to her. There's a little bit of oxidization, but damn, this thing's a survivor, let me tell you.
I'm not! First one of 3. 4. Math is hard.
We are really tired. We were packing for this trip to like 3, and then we got up at 5 to drive here. So stick with us on this one, folks. It's gonna be a wild ride.
Yeah.
Might as well bring this over. Thank you, Tang Tools, for sponsoring the show. Keeps us turning wrenches. Check them out, tangtoolsusa.com, for some excellent tools at affordable prices. Alternator. Well, since we don't even know if this thing's going to run, we're just going to cut the air conditioning belt, but I got the others off. You can see how long it's been sitting for. They held their shape entirely. Crusty. Looking at it, I think we should probably just remove all this fan shrouding too. Give us a little more room. Oh. Man, even the rubber like flaps to seal every little bit of air to go through the fan are still here. I don't think I've ever even seen those before. Like actually present. This thing is a time capsule. Wow, instead of being rusty under it, it's like perfect paint. Look at that. What the hell? Okay, now we got way more room in here. Got our water pump. Why is he like sticky? Oh, nice, man. Okay, it makes me question a few things. Alright, let's get the breaker bar on this and see if we can make any difference. Oh! See that? It moved a little bit. Will this be the first stuck motor we're ever actually able to get to run on Junkyard Digs? Ow, my elbow! Let's pull these spark plugs out and get some juice down those cylinders, try to get everything freed up. Maybe while that's sitting, we can pull the valve covers and see if we have valve train that's holding us up. Which is going to be a nightmare on that side because of that air conditioning condenser. And you know it doesn't work either. It's just in the way, big and old and floppy. Before you guys ask, we did check if there's oil on this, and there is in fact oil in there. And it looks awkwardly like brand new. Does not smell new. Right, spark plugs and goo. Go.
One bolt at a time. This car's making me lose my mind. But we'll have her out before we need to go home. I'm a beautiful singer. Johnny Cash would be proud.
I've got these 4 spark plugs out and I sprayed a bunch of PB Blaster down there. I ran out of PB Blaster, so we're going to have to make a trip in the town. But yeah, if this starts showing signs of life, we might as well go get some other parts too, because I didn't bring a side post battery because they're terrible. I forgot GM runs those because they're so terrible. So I'm just going to cut these off and make them regular posts, the way God intended. Mook is taking the AC compressor off because that's going to be in our way no matter what we try to do. So, away she goes.
Everybody just leave.
This will be another air-conditioned Cutlass I have with no working air conditioning. Woohoo! Which, if you want to see videos of that car, Deboss Garage's channel, I'll link it right up here, series they did of last year's Power Tour. Pretty damn good videos, really well edited, worth a watch. Go check them out. Okay, yeah, there's a amount of mouse nest in here. Just let that go back to the environment. Be free. In my line of work, when you see an industrial sized can of PB Blaster, you purchase an industrial sized can of PB Blaster. So I'm going to fill these up with this and then maybe top it off with a bit of ATF. And then we're going to get to work on pulling those valve covers and the distributor and whatever else is attached to an engine that spins that may be causing it to get held up.
Dead mice.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, we cheated this time. We got this nice sunshade and finally used it, set it up, because that asphalt's warm and there's obviously no airflow in here, so. Also, not gonna lie, those 99-cent margaritas are starting to look real nice.
They are.
Ooh, yummy. Look at that.
Wow.
That's nasty. So this is definitely a 120,000 mile car, not a 21,000 mile car. She's a little gross inside, not gonna lie. Had a lot of miles put on in 10 years, so someone really liked it and drove the hell out of it, and then I believe the guy passed away and they just parked it. It's probably about time for an engine rebuild, especially at 120,000 miles, because that's a lot of miles on an old engine. So, free. I don't know. Free. Not too sure about that guy. But while I'm in here, I'll get this hose in here and get some PB on all those valve guides. Because if they're not stuffed, they're still probably not happy. So I'm going to get some PB Blaster to travel down those push rods into the lifters maybe. Oh, my side had the Pcv valve. That's why it's so poopy. So, that's why this one's so clean. So a little bit of science here for you that I guess I've probably never really talked about. Pcv valves, positive case ventilation. They hook into the bottom of the carburetor. Specifically on this one, right about there, that big hose in the center of the screen. Boop. They are basically a controlled vacuum leak that pulls the gases and stuff floating around in the bottom of the engine back into the engine to be recycled and reburned. They also help the piston rings seal the wall because they make a negative pressure in the bottom of the engine. Now, the side with the Pcv valve will usually be messier because clean air comes in through this tube, through the breather, through the filter into this tube, down this side of the engine, across, then out this side. So it's wafting all those oily fumes right up on this side, which is why it looks like a burnt pile of dicks.
I just have one correction.
Yeah.
It's pronounced carbitator.
Oh. The base of the carbitator?
It's a carbitator.
Mm-hmm. Hillbilly Mook girl.
You gotta clean it with a corn cob.
Okay, so we're removing the distributor cap here and see if this sucker happens to be froze up. See if I can tell from above. I have no idea. We'll figure out that firing order stuff later. I'm sure it's just 184366572 because GM.
I'm sure it's actually 8675309, but you know.
There he goes. Does it spin?
I don't see movement.
Well, I'm not moving much, but it does feel weird the whole time I'm moving. There's a definite noise from somewhere in the engine block, like something doesn't want to move. So we're gonna take a moment, play around with this, see if we can figure out what that noise is, and see if we can get the sucker freed up. We'll be back. So I got the inspection cover off on the trans, and I've got a pry bar on the flywheel teeth. Because my crank bolt was getting too loose up front to where it was just flying back and forth from being tightened so much. So we moved on to this now. I'm able to roll it backwards. It's making some weird noises in the middle of the block, so who knows. But I'm going to keep trying to spin this back and see if we can get a little farther than we have before. Feels like we are. So I've got a lot more leverage here because of the gear action I'm utilizing by turning the flywheel gears with a screwdriver. Oh, hang on. Moving a little better. Oh, hey. I might have done it. Oh, never mind, shit. That's another hard spot. Oh, no. Yeah, she's moving. She's moving pretty good. She's moving really smooth now. Oh, it's also dropped. Oh, Jesus, what the f? It's dumping oil down my arm. Where's this oil? Oh, it's PV Blaster. I need a rag. Oh, I forgot. Cylinders are full of PV Blaster. As it's rotating, it's pushing it all out of the cylinder and into my armpit. Like, specifically my armpit. But I think that may have done it. Where am I? There was a real tough spot where she was sitting, but once she started going, she started going. Oh, look at that. I think there's still a few spots wherever those rings were sitting. We got to get past that a few times, so every time I come back in contact with it, it'll get hard again, but I might be able to break through. Man, that large pry bar on the flywheel seems to really do the trick, which, gotta hand it to GM and Mopar. Their inspection covers are way better where you can actually do that. Can't do it on a Ford. I don't know what that screaming squeak noise is.
It's your horn.
Apparently.
Obviously. What the heck?
There's a dragonfly in our thing.
Oh no.
this is why the crank is not the ideal way to do this. So it looks like I need to go back under the pry bar for a little longer. Oh, there's a tight spot. Just working through it. Keep on keeping on. She's moving past her. So I got Mook pulling on the pry bar while I'm rolling the teeth over. And I think we've done a rotation by now. If not, we're getting close because it's pissing PV Blaster all over my face out of pretty much every hole. So
here we go.
That's all you. Keep going. Pull hard. Okay, now she's getting bound up again.
All right, I'm at the hose.
Okay, I'll let you reset. Go ahead.
I am.
Pull her hard, should be all you.
I really can't pull harder.
That's a hard spot. Alright, go. There's another little tricky spot right there yet. Oh yeah, that one's pretty rough.
Alright, at the hose.
Okay. Basically, this went on for another 15 minutes until we were able to do about 3 total rotations. Yeah, I think we've done at least a rotation and a half, if not 2. And there's not much for tight spots. I mean, there's a couple, like the problematic spots are not just tight spots. I can just about turn the motor over all the way from up here now. So, we'll just keep working this. And eventually I'm going to get the starter involved to where we can zing it to where it sticks like that, right there. And then, after it sticks, roll it back, hit it with speed again until it blows everything out. Okay, there's the soft spot. I'm going to dump a little ATF down the cylinders to actually be a lubricant in there instead of just a penetrant. In the meantime, while that's sitting, I will put normal battery terminals on and we'll throw a battery in this and see what happens.
Come here, Mr. Campbell. Let's go for an adventure. My brain is frying. I'm losing my mind.
Goo goo, the magical goo. Goo 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 goo.
That was beautiful.
Okay. Please don't burn to the ground. That would suck all around. For once, I haven't actually spent enough time inside to find papers or anything. Like I opened the door and went, oh, that's a Cutlass with white interior. Better not touch it. But we were told it was parked in 87, which would be...
Math is really hard right now.
You were born in 95, you're 25.
Hey! So that's a secret. I'm 700 years old.
So this should be potentially the first time this sees power in like 33, 35, 30 years, you know, somewhere in the 30s.
Bingo, bango.
Alright, let's see if anything inside this sucker works. Door buzzer.
Wow.
Yeah, 87 seems about right. First thing I see. Okay. Got an alternator light. The radio works. Okay, the big question. The horn works really well.
You jump so high.
How about headlights and taillights?
We got taillights.
Brake lights? I don't know if I can press it far enough because it sees. How
Yeah.
about blinkers?
Yep.
No freaking way. Okay, let me close the door and not be in the nice white interior. No! Get out.
Get your fuzzy
Giant dust bunnies. Ugh.
Wow.
Majestic. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside and tap the starter. I expect to do half a crank and then stop. So here we go. Ready?
Ready. Oh. Yep.
That was worse than anticipated.
Bless you.
Shit everywhere. Triple homicide all over the walls. It's been 20 years, so maybe there isn't one. I'll roll the motor back. We'll hit it again. It's good to hear it's got a good strong starter though. Ready?
Ready.
Ta-da! There it is! That went way better than I was hoping. Now one more. Woo! There she be. Alright, let's fill these cylinders again for the night. Pack up, go get some more sleep, and like 46 showers. Let these soak overnight, come back, get it run tomorrow. My armpit burns so bad.
Maybe you don't put PB Blaster in it.
Gallons of it.
Maybe don't do that.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Well, it's day 2 here at the Cutlass Survival. We got some sleep finally. We're running on 8 hours of sleep instead of 2. This thing sat overnight with some PB Blaster in the cylinders, so we're hoping it's a little freed up today. We bought a broom and some more rags and stuff to clean up the floor when we're done. And we're hoping to have this running by the end of the day. And then tomorrow work on tires and maybe even brakes, and then see if we can, in fact, try to drive this home. Still looking like a slim chance, seeing that was a totally seized motor. I'm sure it's going to give us a lot of problems once we get it going, but you never know. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and put a battery back in it and see if it cranks any better today and make a big mess again.
Yeah. Oh. There, I fixed it.
That's good. That's good. Alright, ready?
Yes.
Here, can you crank it? I want to see how fast it's spinning.
Alright,
What I'm worried about is by the time we get plugs in it, it'll be too slow to start. Yeah, not super fast. We're gonna need a lot of battery for this one. But hopefully after a couple heat cycles, that starts to free up and maybe it gets better. What's he doing?
Our shade is leaving us. It's gonna fly away.
Start scooting?
It did scoot a little bit. Do you want to see this giant spider I found?
Yeah.
I tripped on it.
Yummy. Here's this. So, as you can see, we got a quadrajet 4-barrel here. So she cranks. Let's see if we have spark. I mean, the ignition system, the electrical system of this car is so good, I might just have to like replace the points and be like, ta-da, we're done. So these work by interrupting the ground to the coil, which means they should be sparking right now. And if you look right here, they're not. Nope. If I ground it, ow, it does. So it's got power to it. The points probably just need replaced or sanded. I think I have some emery cloth over there, but we'll clean these up. Then we can move forward to seeing if we can get a spark plug to fire off. The advance mechanism's not froze up. Everything moves just fine. This car is really, really well stored. It's like it was just parked, but covered in poop and stuff. There's our points cleaned up a little bit. Let's see if that made a difference. I bet this sucker works. Okay, our points are clean, our ignition is hot. Let's test the coil for power. Well, our coil's hot. Let's see what happens when I reach in there and open the points. All I'm doing here is putting one end of my test light on the negative post and one end on the positive post of the coil. I'm going to reach in with a screwdriver and open the points. And as you can see, they work. Not only that, but you can see a little flash right before they go out, this brighter. That's the coil discharging. So what this does, while those points are connected, right now, it gives a ground and a positive to the coil, which produces electricity inside this coil. It builds up a charge. When you remove that ground and interrupt it really fast, like you saw that bright flash for a second, it discharges all of the power stored up in that coil out the core in the center, which is this post right here that comes out the center, which is the spark plug wire that goes to the center of the cap. Now we can actually test that coil while we're here too. You can test just the coil by putting 12 volts to the positive and ground to the negative and interrupting that ground by just brushing it on something, and it will shoot a spark out of this. You can do this on a bench, you can do this in your bedroom, you can do it wherever to test it. It's very simple circuitry. Don't hold on to this. That's 10,000 volts. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt you. It's just going to tickle really bad. I'm going to do this by keeping the points in play. I'm literally going to interrupt that spark, same as brushing a wire against the ground, by opening those points. See it right there? That means our coil is good and our points are good, and we should totally have spark when this thing turns over. I guess at this point we put the spark plugs back in and throw some carb cleaner down it and see if it fires already. It seems like way too early for that, but let's do it. So Mook's putting in her last spark plugs. I've got 3 of mine, and then on cylinder number 1 I have a compression tester hooked up, because why not?
A bonk tester.
The bonks come in at 1. So she's going to tighten hers down, and then we'll see if this thing has compression. There's 2 things I'm worried about. A, it doesn't have compression because it's, you know, seized and the rings are all stuck. And two, it has such good compression that it can't crank anymore.
And then D, bonking.
Bonking.
Kevin jumped the water.
The water's very cold today.
That's what ice does to it.
I need you to watch this in here, ma'am.
The bonkometer.
The bonkometer. The bonkometer. And we'll hold the throttle wide open with the throttle wide open holder. And hope that it cranks over, and if it does, hope it gets to, like, you know, 90, 100, 120 would be awesome.
900!
Ready?
Yes. Climbed to almost 80.
It went once and then it stopped.
Well, it jumped to like just below 60, and then it
also
went,
there was a loud squeak right away.
Must have brought the squeaky hammer.
Now let's try again. What's all the smoke from? Well, it still turns over. Not very well, but it still turns over. Let's put the spark plugs in and see if it lights off. It's gonna be a struggle. I can already tell. Let's do it.
Alright, we've got the spider going in.
The spider's got webs all over him.
Imagine that.
This should maybe fire off for a second. Maybe. So I'm not worried about there being no valve covers. And this way, I can see if it's moving oil. Let's give it something to eat.
A burrito.
That was plenty. But there's a lot of oil in there, so. Here goes nothing. First start attempt in 33 years. Okay, so we took our cap off. Our points that were kind of sitting funny or something, they quit sparking. We're going to try this again. Brake cleaner seems to be drying it out a little bit to where now one of our cylinders is squeaking. Probably wants a little more oil. But we'll see what this does. This motor obviously is going to get rebuilt, so I'm not too worried about maybe hurting it because it's pretty hurt already. So there, it made a little noise, which is pretty impressive. I'm going to throw a little more down through, run the throttle, and Mook is going to do the key for us. Go ahead.
Cranking.
Did we lose spark again? Try that.
Cranking.
Go again. I don't think our firing's right. Go again. Go again.
Fire.
It's on fire a little bit, not gonna lie. Either our firing order is wrong or our timing's way off. Let's do it. Let's give it one more.
We're just on fire.
Go ahead. Give her again. Stop. Oh, maybe I should tighten our battery terminals. Okay, I've redone some stuff on our negative wire. Should help with that grounding issue. Let's try it again, Mook.
Cranking.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Doesn't sound very good on the bottom end. Go ahead. Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Still no smoke out the rear. That's really weird, especially seeing that we put so much oil in it. Alright, go again. There we go. Is it smoking now?
Yep.
Alright, one more. I still don't see much for oil up here. You don't have to have an oil gauge in there, do you? I don't think you do. You have an oil light?
I have an oil light.
Okay, tell me if your oil light goes off when it fires up. Go ahead.
Cranking.
Try again. One more time. Stop.
Huh?
Uh-oh. Alright, well I find myself back under here. Oh boy. Looks like you got the littlest bit of heat and got stuck again. I don't know, Mook. This doesn't feel happy.
Oh no. Come on, Cutlass.
No, I think she's done.
No!
Like it turns a little bit, but if it got a tiny bit of heat into it by running for like 2 minutes and then stuck. So there's no hope to ever make this run. I don't know how people do these revivals where they have seized cars and they get them running. Because we're 0 for 3 and this is the closest we've ever got. This thing is dorked.
It sputtered a bit.
I mean, I could spend 3 weeks like oiling this, but we have like 2 days. That's it until we have to go back home for the
Not
whole
even.
trip. And we're a day through, so I don't know if we're gonna get this one going.
Not here. Bonk.
Oh god, I think it's even worse now.
Not a happy camper.
I can still spin it, but not much, and it is tight. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. Hang on with the hang on. Okay, well now hang on about hanging on with the hang on. You're turning better. Alright. It might crank now. I don't know. Let's try to run it on gas this time.
That's a good idea. Look at this beautiful tire. Freaking perfect. And then there's Kevin.
Okay. Let's try it with gas this time. Might be a little bit creative. Definitely a word. Don't Google it. Alright, let's see if she cranks. Go ahead.
Cranking. Try again?
No, there's no hope. There's no point in trying. It's dead. Something probably literally failed inside. I'm able to spin it far enough backwards, we might be able to take a run at it and break through. Okay, go for it.
Cranking.
Crank it. Crank it. Crank it. Alright, pause. Let me see if I can fill the bowls here.
That was the longest it ran.
Okay, that's going to be beyond flooded. Go ahead.
Cranking.
What?
What?
Ooh, that didn't sound good. Crank it.
Cranking.
Oh, alright, hang on. It actually idled. Let me fill the bowls again.
Cranking.
I think that's funny for quite some time for just the amount of gas that's in the bowls. Is that running off the tank? You got an oil pressure light?
No.
This might be running off old gas. Try to give it a little rev. Nope. That might be running on old gas. No, hang on. Try it again. That's running on 30-year-old gas. Holy crap. A little oil over here, not much. No freaking way. Alright, kill it. Okay, well, it's proven to me it wants to live. That thing just ran on 30-year-old gas. I wonder if someone had to have put gas in it at some point in the middle of its life of city and tried to get it to run or something, because that's just how good old gas is compared to today's gas. But I did not put that much fuel in the bowls. That means the fuel pump works, the tank works, all the plumbing works, the float bowls work, the carburetor works. The only thing that doesn't work is the accelerator.
Kevin, it's a carburator.
The carburetor works. The only thing that doesn't work is the accelerator pump. That's insane. That was a seized motor. This is freaking nuts. Holy cow. Okay, let's let this air out because it's really smoky. What do we do next?
Great. Tires. Margaritas!
Let's take a trip into town. Let's get an oil pressure gauge, some oil and oil filter, valve cover gaskets, and whatever we would need, and maybe a carb rebuild kit. I did bring a Holly we could stick on, but that thing works, so maybe I can just pop the top off and replace the plungers for the accelerator pump, and she'll be good to go. But let's hang around till this thing cools off and quit smoking so we know it doesn't catch on fire and burn this place down. And then see what we can do to make this run better and be sealed up and oil itself and all those good things. That's insane. Oh, that's crazy.
No bugs.
It was seized again. And now it idles on 30-year-old gas. I'm not shitting you guys. I did not make this up. This car has sat here since who knows what. We need to dig through and find some papers. But they told me it's sat here for 20 years, and judging by the amount of dust all over this car and what we saw from the back, I absolutely believe it. I can't make this shit up, guys. This is not fake. That really happened. This is absolutely real. And nothing you've ever seen on the screen of Junkyard Digs has been faked in the history of the channel.
Besides your accents.
Least seen. I'd say that's a good conclusion for episode 1.
I just saw a really big spider. Oh, wow.
So there, we went from siege to running successfully for the first time on this channel. With that being said, we're going to end part 1 here. To see us attempt to drive this sucker either to the nearest O'Reilly's around the block or maybe a few hundred miles home to Iowa, make sure you check out the rest of this series. We'll see you next week right here on Junkyard Digs. Thank you to Mook for all the help. Make sure you subscribe to her channel, Junkyard Mook, which is right up here. Subscribe to all my friends, Thunderhead 289, Dylan McCool, Classic Mustangs 429, Cars and Cameras, Deboss Garage, Vice Grip Garage, the whole gang.
And Dr. Bob.
Dr. Bob. Who's that? We'll see you next time on Junkyard Digs. Peace.
Boogers! Get the booger scope.
I'm not getting the booger scope.
You are no fun. Give me the booger scope. It's what the people want.
How about booger nope?
Booger scope.
Nope.
Yes. Booger scope.
What the hell? You got a floppy nose.
You got a floppy nose. I'll say nose too.